What's up, everybody? It's Justin, your Lighthouse Student Ministry youth leader. Welcome to Holy Week, and as we shoot towards Easter Sunday, we'll be talking about Jesus as he washed his disciples' feet. And this all started at the Feast of Passover, as we like to call the Last Supper. And this was a dark time. Jesus knew there was a disturbance that he had come across, and he knew his time would come. And so Jesus would then gather all his disciples, and he would invite them for a meal that evening. And as he shared with him his communion with bread and wine, they would then start to enjoy the evening. But as the night went on, the disciples started to argue about who would be the greatest disciple, who would be the one that would walk next to Jesus. And as arguments started to arise and controversy started to unveil, Jesus stood back and saw this havoc started to get bigger and bigger. Jesus broke his silence. He stood up. He gathered a basin and a towel. And he would walk over to one of his disciples and started washing their feet. Why? Why would Jesus wash his disciples' feet? Back then, it was very hard on your feet to walk from place to place. They didn't have, cars, automobiles. They would have, you'd have to walk everywhere. You would have to have a horse or a camel. So it was hard times back then on your feet. And it was tradition to wash your feet before meals at the end of the evening. And during this night, Peter would look over and see Jesus wash his disciples' feet, and he was appalled. And his disciples would look around the room, and they stood in shock of what was occurring. Jesus washing his disciples' feet was unheard of. That's not their job. The disciples were looking at them like, you're doing my job. At least that's what I would take it. If I had seen somebody doing my job, I would feel some kind of way also. I would be upset. But Peter would dart over to Jesus, and he would say in the book of John 13, he would ask him, Lord, do you wish to wash my feet? Very sternly. And Jesus would continue to wash the disciples' feet as he turned and as he looked to Peter. Jesus would respond back very politely. What I am doing, you do not understand now, but afterward, you will understand. Peter couldn't believe that he talked to him like that. Peter lashed back that you shall never wash my feet. Peter was just so distraught that someone would ever, stoop to the highest level to talk back about Peter. And then Jesus would go on and say, if I do not wash you, you have no share with me. Peter was so surprised. He was so livid. Peter would argue back and say, Lord, not my feet only, but also my hands and my head. Jesus would finish wiping the disciples' feet, rinsed out his towel, and he stood up. And he would then say something that would change the whole night. Jesus would then say, the one who has bathed does not need to wash except for his feet, but is completely clean. And you are clean, but not all of you are clean. Not all of you is clean. Jesus knew. Jesus knew that Peter was that guy that he would be face to face at the cross. He knew that Peter would betray him. So during this moment, during this feel, Jesus understood that at this moment, the disciples had to make a choice. Jesus would share with his disciples that, yes, he is the Lord. Yes, he is their teacher. But him washing other disciples' feet, that was the greatest example of his servanthood and his humility. He would say, if you go on and you would eat my bread and drink my wine, you would then serve others, love each other, serve each other. See, Jesus believes that we are all on the same playing level. There's no one above us, no one beneath us. We're all one. And we all need each other to go about life. And that's what's so symbolic of this. It's because Jesus washes the disciples' feet, which is backwards. The disciple is supposed to wash Jesus' feet. But Jesus believes, and as we all should, that to continue to guide his disciples, he needed to share with them that you have to share the love, share your talents to make others feel loved. And my challenge to you this week is share your talent, share your love. That at the end of the day, we all need to be in this together. Jesus told his disciples that, and he taught them that. So as we think about what happened in John 13 and the rest that we will learn in Holy Week, think about when Jesus washed his disciples' feet. Thanks, guys, for hanging out with me today. I hope you all enjoy the rest of your week. See you guys.